Northern Sri Lanka, fighting between the army and Tamil rebels has intensified. And along with that battle, a public relations campaign is heating up. The army is distributing video of refugees being welcomed into their care. But as the CBC's Jean-François Bélanger explains, access to the refugees is tightly controlled, and the reality of their plight may be very different.
Sheltering them in special villages. The pictures come from the Sri Lankan army, handed over a news agency. The soldiers also keep a watchful eye on the few journalists who've been allowed inside the camp. We were not able to check independently the conditions in which refugees live, nor could we hear their side of the story. The government stopped us from visiting refugee camps, denying us access to Vavuniya, the city where they're located. We were allowed to visit this transit camp in Kilinochi. Government forces had recently captured the stronghold of the rebel Tamil Tigers. But when we got there, the refugees had left. Others were expected, but we were not allowed to wait for them.
It won't be possible enough because still the checking, everything is going on in forward areas.
This Sri Lankan official says the government is limiting visits out of respect for the refugees.
They are not being like in a zoo. You can't allow people to go and take photographs.
But these pictures given to us by aid workers offer a different explanation. Human Rights Watch made a field visit to confirm all that.
These are camps that do not comply with any requirements of the international law when it comes to the displaced persons. They keep behind barbed wire and guarded by the military. We have reports that some people disappear.
The Sri Lankan Ministry of Foreign Affairs sees nothing wrong with barbed wire fences.
The barbed wire is there because that's the way we demarcate property in this country. You do not want thousands of people going into that area and cutting down the trees.
But the Center for Policy Alternatives condemns the relief camps. The Sri Lankan NGO says they're like detention camps.
IDPs who have gone through horrendous experiences, lost loved ones, are treated like suspects, criminals.
Authorities here say more than 50,000 refugees have fled the fighting in the past few months, yet we only managed to meet one during our 10-day stay. A man, perfectly articulate in English, brought to us by Sri Lankan troops a few minutes before we left.
Soldiers and police guard shooting sometimes.
Jean-François Bélanger, CBC News, Kilinochi, Sri Lanka.